I know I probably got some weird funky shadow all over my face, but the sun is like right in front of me. But anyway, good morning. I'm on my way to work this morning, and we had some storms and rain in the middle of the night last night. That was kind of crazy, and Maddie tossed and turned all night, and so I'm tired. And this morning, Jimmy woke me up. Well, didn't wake me up. We were both awake because Maddie was tossing and turning, and he was asking me if I would call into work because he was worried that she would need me to stay home with her today just because she acted like she didn't feel good. And I was like, I cannot call into work. I was like, I can't start doing that. That drives me crazy. Like, I cannot call into work unless something is seriously wrong. You know, like if she was super duper burning up hot, we didn't, you know, my mom couldn't come over, that's one thing, but she had no fever. You know, we're dealing with this pink eye thing, which I'm going to tell you guys about here in a second. And I don't know, she was just restless, so I was like, no, I'm not going to call into work. They need me at work, and I need the paycheck, you know. So anyway, about the pink eye. So we didn't take her to the doctor yesterday because I wanted to experiment a little bit with a home remedy. I think we're really quick to run to the doctor and get antibiotics, and I happen to know firsthand that antibiotics can be really dangerous for your body unless you absolutely have to have them. So we are going to try breast milk. So online, I was reading up on it about how a lot of people cure the conjunctivitis with breast milk, and it's because there are, I'm trying to think what it is in breast milk. I can't think of what it is. What's it called? I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But anyway, there is something in breast milk along with the natural antibodies. But there's one thing in particular that prevents the bacteria from sticking to the eye and the eyelid. So it basically coats the eye and prevents the bacteria from continuing to be able to cling on and grow, if I'm understanding that correctly. So last night I expressed some breast milk, and I used a medicine syringe, and we put a drop in both of her eyes, and I believe it said to do it about I should have sprayed my bangs back, about 2 to 3 times a day. And yeah, so this morning I also expressed a little bit, just a little bit, enough for a few drops. And I'm gonna have my mom attempt with the help of Jacob, I'm sure, to put some eye drops in her eye. And I believe, now I couldn't really tell, but yesterday she woke up and both of her eyes were completely matted shut. This morning she was opening her eyes, and I mean, it was dark in the room, so I couldn't really see, but she wasn't crying that they were matted shut. So I think it's already working. I don't know for sure because it was so dark in the room, but I'm pretty sure that she was able to open her eyes. They were not glued shut like they were yesterday after only 1 drop in both eyes. So I'm really excited to see if this works. I mean, this is one of those things that, I mean, not everybody could do because apparently, you know, obviously not everybody has breast milk to use at their discretion, but I am excited to see if this works. I'm really excited to see if it works. Now, obviously, if, you know, after today or tomorrow she's, you know, obviously not getting any better, then we'll go with the antibiotic drops. But I definitely thought it was worth a shot to try the breast milk. So we are. I'm gonna get my coffee and be back with you.
$3.39.
Thank you. All right. Thanks. You too. So I am driving on the highway right now, but we're going about 30 miles an hour. So I thought I would vlog a little bit. So I forgot to tell you guys that about something that happened while we were camping. So Saturday night, middle of the night, well, let me back up a little bit. Before we went to bed, Saturday, the wind was crazy bad. It was whipping like ridiculously, and it blew in one like corner of our tent. So Jimmy and I worked really hard we had a tarp over our tent, to really tie the tarp down, and then we went around to all of the poles of the tent and we attached the tent poles to the wood of the shelter with bungee cords, and we did that pretty much on every place that there was a pole. We secured it down, and if we had not have done that, we probably would have blown away. It was crazy scary. Saturday night we were up pretty much all night. We were laying there, you could hear the wind like 10 seconds before it even got to us. You could just hear it like start up, you know, and we'd be laying there like, oh my gosh. And then it would finally hit the tent. It would like, the tarp was flapping, even though we had tied it down as tight as and close to the tent as we could. It was flapping like crazy, and it was making the loudest noise. The tent was going like crazy, like it was gonna snap or fly away, and that would last for a few seconds, and then it would stop, and then it would come again. And then when we started hearing trees falling, we heard a massive tree fall. Actually, Jimmy heard it, but it woke me up, and I didn't hear the whole entire thing, but it woke me up when it fell. And he goes, did you just hear that tree fall? And I said, well, I guess that's what woke me up, but I didn't like technically hear it. I heard it while I was asleep. And he said that was a massive, massive tree, and it just fell. And so after that point, we were getting a little bit concerned about our safety. And so we were, Jimmy got up, and so he went out. This was probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and he was just looking around to make sure that we were not directly underneath any very large trees that could be potentially deadly to us. And so he came back in and he said, I think we're okay. You know, had we have not been underneath the shelter, I would have been like extremely concerned, because we did hear tree limbs and stuff hitting the shelter. It was just like crazy bad. And it just made us kind of giggle, because we used to have a pop-up camper, and we took the camper to the beach one year, and we were camping right by the ocean. We were like, just, I mean, you know, front line, we were just right by the ocean. And this really awful storm came while we were camping there and nearly blew over our pop-up. It was so bad. It flooded, the campground completely flooded. The kids were in tents outside of our pop-up, and I mean everything, sleeping bags, pillows, just everything. There was like 3 inches of water just washing all through the campsite. There was like lightning and wind, and so anyway, we were both thinking of that time, and he said, we have the worst luck, and I was like, oh, don't say that, don't say that. I was so worried, you know, that something was going to happen, but we made it through the night. Praise God. I was praying, guys, the entire time. And this was my prayer. I was praying to God, Lord, you calmed the stormy seas when you were on the ship with the disciples. You can stop this windstorm, please. And it was, you know, the next day it was kind of funny, but at the time I was dead serious. I was dead serious. I was praying for protection, because I was so worried that a massive tree was going to fall on top of us. But praise God, it didn't, and everything turned out okay. But the next day I was telling my dad about it on the phone, and he said, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there. it is not fun. And I'm like, no, it is not fun. You take your house for granted, especially during those really, really bad windstorms that, you know, we can get. And in the mountains, I think it's 10 times worse because the wind gusts just really pick up, and they kind of cut through the mountains and get trapped in between there. So the wind gusts were really, really strong, really fast. So it was interesting, to say the least. So I realized after I watched the vlog that I had not mentioned that or told you guys about that. So I really haven't chit-chatted much about our trip apart from, you know, the clips that you guys saw. So I wanted to tell you guys about that because it was kind of interesting. Let's see, what else happened? Traffic is like crazy. The 485 is like completely backed up and at a standstill. Holy macaroni. Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to tell you guys about that. What else was I gonna say? Oh, the food, oh my word, we ate so well. Oh, I have to share with you guys the recipes because these are the best camp recipes that I have ever had. So, we had, the last day that we were there, we had campfire cones for breakfast. And what that is waffle cones. And then you put mini marshmallows, mini semi-sweet chocolate morsels, fresh fruit like strawberries, bananas, and you just sort of layer that inside of your waffle cone. You wrap it up in foil and then you just throw it on top of the fire. We have a grate that you can put over a campfire to cook on. So we just rolled all of those up in tinfoil and put it over top of the fire, and you just leave it there for a couple of minutes and it all melts and it's so delicious. The cone gets really crunchy and it is ooey gooey deliciousness. It's very rich, so it's definitely like a special treat or a dessert. But we had it for breakfast because I was dying to try them, and we still hadn't tried them by Monday morning, so I was like, well, we're gonna have this for breakfast. So we had that. We also did some ham and Swiss croissants with honey mustard over the fire. So we made those sandwiches, rolled them up and threw them on the grate over the fire, and that was really good. The biggest hit though was the French bread pizza sandwiches that I made. And this was where you have French bread or some other really like hoagie type of bread, and you put cream cheese, softened cream cheese on both sides, and then you do pizza sauce on both sides, and then you put pepperoni pieces all over, and then you're supposed to use mozzarella. Now somehow the mozzarella escaped my cooler, so I had some leftover Swiss from the sandwiches, so we did like a half a slice of Swiss cheese, and then we sprinkled it with shredded cheddar. And then you just close it up, wrap it in foil, and then you throw it over the fire for, you know, 5 or 10 minutes until everything is really melted and gooey and delicious. And everybody was so pleasantly surprised with that. It was probably the biggest hit of all. So we had that. We did some marinated chicken pieces with squash, zucchini, and onion with garlic powder, salt, pepper. So we marinated that in like an Italian marinade for several hours, and then we just basically scooped it all out into individual little foil packets, wrapped it up, and we threw it over the fire for like half hour or so until the chicken and everything was thoroughly cooked through, and it was just delicious. So we had that with macaroni and cheese one night. We did hot dogs wrapped in the crescent rolls, like Pillsbury crescent rolls. So we did that where we just basically grilled them on skewers, and that was fun. Let's see, what else did we do? Let me think. Oh, we did breakfast burritos. So I did eggs, cheese, sausage, hash browns, what else? Some of the garlic salt, or garlic powder, salt, pepper. Basically just fried all of that up really good, wrapped it in tortillas, wrapped the tortillas in foil, and did the same thing, threw it over the fire, and it was so good. But the food was great. Everybody was super excited. We had s'mores pretty much every night. A giant bug just landed on my window. Ugh, I need to wash this fan, it's dirty. But anyway, we had so much fun. The food was amazing. I think that's what pretty much made the trip for the kids, is just eating lots and lots of really yummy camp food, and just sitting around the campfire, playing at the playground. All of that was really fun. So we are hoping to take another camping trip potentially next month, to a different campground that's a little bit closer. And it's actually in the same town where all of my extended family live. And my mom and I are talking about maybe doing a Mother's Day trip to visit with my grandmother, who her health is declining, so it's really important that we get up there to visit with her. And so I was talking with my husband that we might as well just take a little camping trip that weekend, which would be really fun, and go up to the campground, and that way I could just be right there and I could go and visit with her whenever. So we may be doing that next month, I'm not sure. But if we do, hopefully I can share more preparation and things like that with you guys. It just got really crazy hectic. With me working, it puts a big crunch on my time. Huge crunch on my time. I can't make as many videos as I'd like to make. I have great ideas for videos, but I just cannot, you know, I just can't do it. I only have so much time. So anyway, I hope to get some editing done today. Hope to get, I want to get that bread recipe edited and up to Ask the Mom. I really hope I have some downtime today to do that. That would be awesome. And I edited and set the vlog to upload last night, and I got up this morning and it was not uploaded, so sorry about that. But as soon as I get to work, I will restart it, and so hopefully it'll be uploaded. But that was supposed to have been completely done last night, but I will get it done this morning while I am rooming patients, and then I will see you guys after work, hopefully. So I will talk to you soon. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So nice to be back